let's understand what file management in Linux really means. In Linux, everything is treated as a file, whether it's a text file, a program, a directory, or even a device. Programs are usually stored as binary files, while their source code is kept as text files. As users, we create different files every day, like Word documents, Excel sheets, presentations, and text files, all of which need to be stored, organized, and managed efficiently. Linux organizes all data into files, which are stored inside directories. These directories are arranged in a tree-like structure, known as the Linux file system, starting from the root directory. In short, file management in Linux is all about organizing and accessing data through this structured file system. Let's understand what a file system is and why it's important in Linux. A file system is responsible for storing information on your hard drive and later retrieving or updating that information whenever you need it. It acts like an organizer, deciding how files are named, stored, and accessed within the disk. Without a file system, your operating system wouldn't know where your data is. Linux supports several types of file systems, such as FAT16, FAT32, NTFS, Extension 2, Extension 3, and the modern Extension 4, which provides better speed and reliability. In short, the file system is the backbone of Linux storage, making file access smooth, structured, and efficient. Types of files in Linux. In Linux, everything is a file. Whether you open a document, run a program, or connect a device, Linux treats all of them as files. So, when you work with Linux, you're almost always working with files in one form or another. In Linux, you can create, remove, copy, rename, and link files using simple commands. Understanding file types helps you manage your system more effectively. There are three basic types of files in Linux: ordinary files, directories, and special files. Ordinary files contain data, text, or program instructions. They can be your documents, shell scripts, or executable programs. For example, a text file created with the nano editor or a binary file like /bin/ls is an ordinary file. Directories are special files that store other files, both ordinary and special. They act as containers, organizing your data in a hierarchical structure. If you're familiar with Windows or Mac OS, directories in Linux are just like folders. Special files provide access to hardware devices such as hard drives, CD-ROMs, and network adapters. Some special files also act like aliases or shortcuts, allowing you to access the same file through different paths. To summarize, Linux has three main file types: ordinary files, directories, and special files. Together, they form the foundation of the Linux file system, making data access fast, flexible, and powerful. In Linux, files are the heart of the system. In this video, we'll learn some of the most important file management commands: to list, create, remove, copy, rename, and link files. To see all files and directories in your current location, use the ls command. This command lists files like documents, folders, and programs in your current directory. To get detailed information, use the ls-l command. This displays permissions, ownership, file size, and modification date for each file. Each line gives detailed information about a file or directory. Let's understand what each column represents. First column, file type and permissions. Second, number of memory blocks used. Third, owner name. Fourth, group name. Fifth, file size in bytes. Sixth, date and time of last modification. Seventh, file or directory name. In the first column, the first character indicates the type of file. Regular file. B block special file. C character special file. D directory. L symbolic link. P named pipe. S socket file. To summarize, the ls command is your first step in Linux file management. With ls and its options, you can explore, understand, and organize files efficiently. In Linux, meta-characters are special symbols that hold a special meaning for the shell. They make command execution powerful and flexible by allowing pattern matching and automation. Some of the most commonly used meta-characters are the asterisk, the question mark, and others like square brackets, pipe, greater than symbol and ampersand. The asterisk matches 0 or more characters. For example, the command lsch*.doc lists all files starting with ch and ending with .doc, no matter what characters appear in between. Here, the asterisk matches any sequence of characters, like 01 foot, 02, or even 040. This makes it easy to work with groups of similar files. The question mark is another meta-character. It matches exactly one character. So, lsch.doc lists files like ch1.doc or ch2.doc, but not ch10.doc. If you simply use ls*.doc, it displays all files ending with .doc, regardless of their starting name. To summarize meta-characters like asterisk and make Linux commands powerful and efficient, letting you match multiple files or patterns with a single command. In Linux and Unix, not all files are visible by default. Some files are hidden, but they play a very important role in the system. Hidden files in Linux are simply files whose names start with a dot, also known as the period character. For example, .basic, .profile, or .config. These files are invisible when you use a regular ls command. To view these hidden files, we use the ls command. The option ensures all files, visible and hidden, are listed. Here are some common hidden files in Linux. .profile, used by the Bourne shell for user environment setup. .kshrc, the Korn shell initialization script. .cshrc, used by the C shell. .roasts, stores remote shell configuration details. The single dot symbol represents the current directory, while the double dot points to the parent directory. These are special entries that help Linux navigate the file system efficiently. Hidden files might seem invisible, but they hold the key to how your Linux system behaves. So next time, use ls and explore what's hidden beneath. In Linux, almost everything revolves around files, text files, configuration files, and program scripts. There are many file editors pre-installed on Linux systems. One of the most powerful and popular editors is the VI editor, also known as VIM on modern systems. To create a new file using the VI editor, simply open your terminal and type the command. This command opens a blank file with the given file name, ready for editing. Once the file opens, press the letter I to enter insert mode. You'll notice the word insert appear at the bottom of the screen, meaning you can now type content. Now, you can start typing your text into the file. When you're done writing, press the escape key to exit the edit mode. Then, press Shift+ZZ together. This saves your content and exits the VI editor completely. Now, your new file has been created and saved in the current directory. To edit an existing file, open it the same way with the VI command. Once opened, press I again to enter edit mode and make your changes. When you're not in edit mode, you can move around inside the file using these keys. L, move right. H, move left. K, move up. J, move down. These navigation keys allow you to position your cursor anywhere in the file. Once your cursor is at the right spot, press I to re-enter insert mode and start editing. After making your changes, press escape again and type Shift+ZZ to save and exit. Your updates will now be stored in the same file. The VI editor may seem basic, but it's one of the most efficient tools for creating and editing text files in Linux. Once you master a few simple commands, working with files becomes incredibly fast and smooth. In Linux, once you create a text file, you might want to view its content without opening an editor. The simplest way to do this is by using the cat command. The cat command stands for concatenate, and it's used to display the content of a file right in your terminal window. Here's the basic syntax. Cat file name. For example, let's display the contents of our sample file. If you want to display the content with line numbers, use the -b option along with the cat command. Cat-b file name. This shows each line of the file with a line number beside it. To summarize, use cat filename to view file content, and cat-b filename to view the same content with line numbers. In Linux, managing files efficiently is one of the most essential skills. In this video, we'll explore important file management commands, including counting words, copying, renaming, deleting, and creating links. To count lines, words, and characters in a file, we use the wc command, short for word count. wc file name. The first number shows the total lines. The second shows words. The third shows bytes, the actual size of the file. And the last column is the file name. You can even check multiple files at once using wc filename 1, filename 2, filename 3. To create a copy of an existing file, use the cp command. The syntax is cp source file, destination file. This creates a duplicate named copy file in the same directory, identical to the original. To rename an existing file, use the mv command. The syntax is mv old file, new file. After this, the file new file will appear, and the old one will no longer exist. To remove a file from your Linux system, use the rm command, but be careful. Deleted files cannot be recovered easily. rm file name. It's recommended to use the -i option for confirmation before deletion. You can also delete multiple files at once. rm filename 1, filename 2, filename 3. Linux provides a linking mechanism to access a file from different locations. There are two types of links, symbolic links and hard links. Command for symbolic link. ln-s filename link name. This creates a symbolic link, like a shortcut that points to the original file. Command for hard link. ln filename link name. This creates a hard link, another name for the same file content. Now, you can open or edit the file using any of these names. Even if you delete a link, your original file remains safe. Let's quickly recap. Use wc to count lines and words. Use cp to copy files. Use mv to rename files. Use rm to delete files safely. Use ln to create symbolic or hard links.